Hello and welcome to Love Anything Art. Today I'll show you how I made this necklace and earring set. To begin, I'm going to take a piece of white clay and black clay. You can use any brand that you want. I will chop away a piece of each of them. Condition and roll out. Roll it into a ball, build it into a square shape, and then use your roller to roll it out. And this is mine. It's about that thick. Next, I will do the same with the black clay. This one is going to be much thinner, and that is about as thick as mine is. I'll place that on a piece of wax paper. You can use regular paper too. And then place your white clay on top of the black clay. Give it a nice, gentle roll to connect the two pieces together. Side view for you. Cut away all of the black clay. I'm going to use some alcohol inks. I'll leave a link in the description box below if you are interested in buying alcohol inks. I really do like these. This set came with quite a few colors, and I think it was a worthy investment. You can get quite a bit of use out of these, and they'll go a long way. Nice variety of colors in here. I'll just look through here and pick out the colors I want. I've settled on cherry, sky, cranberry, grape, and ocean. Be sure to shake each of them quite well. And to contain all of the messies, I'm going to put on some gloves. And this is the stencil I'll use. It's a pretty stencil with star patterns on there. Varying sizes of stars. Just lay it on your clay. Give it a nice gentle pat. You can use your roller to get it stuck on there. And you want to press hard enough to where the white clay is coming up through all of the openings. See there? Dab a little bit of the alcohol ink on the end of a paintbrush, and then just start applying the colors. I would recommend not putting the same color right beside itself. Kind of spread them out. And then you can fill in all of those holes with other colors. And you can kind of see it bleeds over the side there. That is okay. That's just where it does not connect to the stencil and the clay did not come up all the way through. As you can see there, right there on the right side and a little bit at the top, but most of the scraps came out good. Be sure to wash this between each use. I just did that with a little bit of alcohol ink and it came up pretty good. I'm going to place this again on top of my clay that I colored. I'm going to offset it a little bit and not put it directly on top of the other stars. You'll see as I go along what I mean. Just give it a good roll so that all of the clay comes up through the stencil. And then just begin slicing away with the edge of your tissue blade all of the excess clay that comes up. This is going to remove any of the clay that is colored. We want fresh white clay. And then once you've done that, go ahead and give it a nice roll again. And that is just to have the white clay pop up through the stencil to get that nice bond so that you do not have the color bleed. And again, just start applying all of your colors. Try not to place two colors beside each other again that are the same color. Once it has dried, you can peel it off once more. Be sure to clean it really well. You can keep going as many times as you like. I am going to do it one more time, and then I will be done. It looks quite pretty at this stage. You could stop right here. I like the 3D kind of a look it has. Again, I'm going to wash this before using it. After the third time, I will peel it away from my paper. And I do need to put another layer of black clay on the back side because it did get pretty thin while I was rolling it out. Chopped away all of those little messy end pieces, rolled out a piece of black clay, and then I'm going to place my clay on top of it. Gently pat it into place. You can also use a roller and very gently give it a roll. Barely any pressure. Cut away any of the excess black clay that is hanging over the sides. I have made a template out of paper, just a V shape. I'm going to place that on my clay and begin cutting out shapes. First, I'm going to just barely make a line, just outlining the template that I cut. And once I get all sides, and then there in the middle also, you can remove the stencil, and you can see the lines still are there. Just go ahead and cut out your shape. And that is my first V shape. I'm going to make several of those. Really, you'll need 4 of those for the necklace, but you can make a couple extra just in case. And I'm going to make some little roses out of all of these colors. You can choose whatever colors you'd like. I just thought that these would look good with the stars. And then this is another color I'm going to use. I thought it would be a nice pop, that yellow against all the other colors. They're kind of Easter colors. Just roll them out into long thin snakes. I find this easiest to do on a piece of paper. Once they are all rolled out, just use your hand to hold it in place on one side, and then the roller, gently rolling it across, and this is just to give it a nice flattening. Just go over it a couple times. And then you can just start rolling them up into little beads or balls, and this will give you your little rose pattern. Just roll it up a couple of times. You can cut away any excess. Make the roses as big as you want or as small as you want. And at the base, I'm just going to give it a gentle roll. You can do it between your fingers or on a flat surface. It'll make it come to a point and thin it out a little bit. Cut off as much of that base as you would like. You want to make several of these out of all of the colors that you have. It did take me about 10 or 15 minutes to make all of these. Next, I'm just going to start placing in all of my roses in the little V-shape opening. Did have to open it up just a little bit to get it to go all the way to the back. But just gently press it back in on the sides to give it the V shape once more. And place in all of your little rosebuds until you reach the end of it. And I did kind of bend my shape out of my V shape, so I'm just going to bend it back into place there. And I'll do this with all 4 of my pieces. On one of them, I won't completely fill it up to the bottom. I'll leave just a small little gap at the very base. And that is so that I connect this piece to the other piece, that there is room for them to connect. As you'll see here, to connect your sides and get them to stick together, to make them a little bit firmer, just use a stick pin, put a hole in each of the base of the V, and I've cut off tiny little pieces of the stick pin. I'll place it in the base of the V on both sides. Line it up where you want it to match up on your other piece, and give it a very gentle push just to give the impression of where the stick pins will need to go. Use a larger stick pin to go ahead and pre-poke that hole. This makes it a whole lot easier when pressing it in. And then just line up where the holes go. Press it into place. You'll do this with both the sides there at the top and also that piece there for the bottom. And I do have a little bit overlapping at the top. You can trim away as much as you want, or if any side does not line up, or maybe you got a little messy, just go ahead and cut it down. I'll place in my bottom piece. And again, just going to trim away just a little bit. And for hanging purposes, I'm going to place a stick pin on both of the sides and one at the base. I will not put one at the very top. I've baked it, and this is it. To cover up the back part, because it's kind of messy, I'm going to take another piece of black clay that I rolled out. First, I'm going to remove the metal stick pins. This will make it easier for cutting in a moment. You can make that piece of black clay as thick as you would like. Just take your piece, lay it on there, and press it in so that the imprint of it gets transferred over to the black clay. Because the clay is baked on the top and the rolled out clay is not, To get them to stick together, you'll just want to put a little bit of bacon bond in there. As you can see, the imprint is on there. Just put some of your bacon bond in all of that area. And then just gently smear it. Don't worry if it overlaps onto the rest of the black clay, it's okay. And then start cutting out your shape. Your fingers to perfect the sides and to make sure it is all stuck in place. Place back in your stick pins and then bake it. To clean up the sides now, as you can see, I did all sides, but right here, it's kind of messy and I want it to be nice and uniformed. I'm just going to take a little bit of black clay on my finger and gently smear it down the sides of the clay. You'll just have to work at it a little bit to get it to stick. Just gently smear it. I am using a little bit of force to get it on there. Just basically want to cover up all of the messy clay that was underneath. I'm just going to use the side of a tool. You can use a toothpick also. Just give it a nice roll and it'll smooth everything out. Scrape away any of the excess that might be hanging over and then bake it. After baking, just remove those stick pins. And then you can start placing in all of your eye hooks and permanent pieces. I made a little piece here out of the end of a stick pin. It's got the little stopper on the end. I placed on some beads, and then I'll just make an eye hook. Made a couple of those. And then I made some side pieces here. And glue all of your pieces in. I added a bead on there. Thought it would give it a nice little something something. I do like adding beads to my work. And then I just hung it on a necklace, and this is it. Something unique and different, and you could probably go a whole lot of different ways with this. And these are the earrings I made, the same way I made the necklace. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!